Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches Series 12. We are on to day 5, and the sketch today is by the fabulous Jen, who is Case Mom, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. What I loved about this sketch was the idea that it looks like there is a half and half design with a distressed square in the middle, and then your spots for 4 photos and some bling going on. And I loved it. So we're going to play with that idea. To bring in the bingo board, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to pick sequins from the first column. I'm going to pick distressed edges, stickers, florals, and a double border. So the way I made the bingo board work for me today is I picked one thing from each row and made sure that it was in a different column within that row. I don't know if that makes sense. If you're looking at the bingo board, you could kind of tell what I'm talking about. Like, I made sure nothing was within the same column or row, which was fun. And that's how I took it. And we're just going to play with that. I decided to pull out some more of my Coco Vanilla Studio Happiness collection. I don't have very much of this left. I never had a lot to begin with, but I used a couple of the papers and stuff in the collection for Build a Page in May, and it's been sitting on my desk, so I thought this was a great time to use up a little bit more. I have plans for a couple of the pattern papers, but the rest of them were fair game, and so you are going to watch me really think about how to make this layout work, starting with the fact that I know I need a double border, and I know I want this kind of half and half design. I don't do a full half and half design, but I know that's what I'm looking for at the moment. What I come up with is the fact that this dark blue is the one piece of pattern paper that I can make work as a border. I did punch some circles out of it, and it's very close to the edge, but I am able to make it do with a very, very thin border. It's thinner than I ever do with borders. I like them to be a little bit thicker, but that's okay. And then to get that double border, I just simply took my pen and created one. And I think that counts. So check mark off for that part at the bingo board. Next up, I have to figure out this half and half design and which pattern papers I want to use. And this took me, I'm not going to lie, the most time to figure out what I want to do. I love this floral, and it would have ticked off the floral box, by the way. However, I can't make it work. I tried really hard, and you can see me like pointing things out and trying to figure out. I really struggled because it's that gorgeous floral on one side and the wood grain on the other, and I love them both, and I don't know what made my final decision and why I chose not to do what I did with the floral is my photos didn't play off very well with them, and obviously I want to highlight my photos and not the pattern paper. It's supposed to be a supplementary thing. And so, I went with wood grain. And then for the top part, as you can see me looking at here now, I actually end up using the plus signs, which is the back side of the words I'm going to use to make my title. And I'm sorry, my words are not coming very clearly to me today. I have just getting over some allergies and a cold on top of that. So I'm a little mumbled. I don't sound the best. I'm a little nasally. And some words are not coming to my brain very well. But that's what I'm coming up with. So I'm liking that. I'm happy with that. I have to figure out the block now. And I love what I came up with because it was really fun. And it worked so well, giving me the idea of the fact that I also have to distress some edges, which I almost forgot to do. I'm not going to lie. I almost forgot to go around and distress all of the edges, but I did manage to do it. So I tore the paper that I picked, which is this really beautiful, like watercolor paper. And I thought, well, hey, if they're both torn, the pink side and the watercolor paper, I used the large side, which has that really pretty water and that teal. I'm going to use that as the back piece, and then I'm going to take the pink, which is smaller, and I'm going to place it on top of it so it kind of makes that block look that you can see in Jen's sketch. And then my photos are going to go on top of that with a border of a white really thin border on the photos themselves, and then a blue, which is the same blue from the background border that I used. And it's going to all tie in perfectly, and I think it's really pretty. I didn't have 4 photos. I didn't have 4 sections, so I'm kind of having to work with what I've got going on. I know I want to add a title, and I come up with, like I said, using the these letters. So I'm going to fussy cut them out. And I did look at I knew I was going to use the hello, but I went at looking at if I was going to use the word wonderful or beautiful. And wonderful won out just because it was smaller, so it fit. But, beautiful can be used in a different one. I have the wreath paper still to use, and I feel like I can use the beautiful on that one. And so now I just have to do the last couple things with the bingo board to wrap this layout up. Now what I have left to do is get the floral added, the sequins, and I've done the distressing. I've done the double border. So what else? I'm missing one more thing. Of course I'm missing one more thing because I never remember all of it. Sequins, floral, did the distressing, did the double border, stickers, and the stickers. So you're going to watch me put this together and how it kind of flows. But I wanted to talk about these photos for a minute while you kind of watch me and my thought process of where I put embellishments. Because I love these photos of Nora so much. We were on vacation in Kamloops and we went to, it's like a zoo, but like it's called the Wilderness something. And it's like animals that you find native to British Columbia, basically. So there were like bears and wolves and just that sort of thing for the most part that you would find, where we lived. There are a few animals that are definitely not from BC, but that's okay. That was the point of it. And part of it was a bird of prey show, and we were waiting for this, and they had music on while we were waiting for the show to come on. And she is my little dancer. She will dance the moment there's music. She will sing or she will dance, and she does not care who watches or how she sounds. And I love this about her. She is such a free spirit. She is just a breath of fresh air. And so I caught these photos, and Kamloops, if you've never been to British Columbia, if you've never been up to Kamloops, it is hot. And it's just hot. And so you can see her shadows as she's dancing. And one of them I just happened to snap it, of her dancing with a jump. And you can see her jumping plus the shadow plus the other one of her looking at me. And I just absolutely adore these photos. And they had to be scrapbooked on their own with their own story outside of the fact that we were, at a zoo, basically. And I love them. So full-on girl collection and full-on girl moment, full-on girl story. I just love it. I love it. I'm really happy to have these photos documented because they're so cute. And sometimes you have those photos that you're really afraid to scrapbook because they're so good. This was one of them, but we got it through. So it is all good and I love it. Okay, you watched me do the rest of it. Sorry, I really had to tell you that story. So to wrap it up, I'm just going to show you some close-ups. I got the sequence on there. I got all of the bingo board on there. You can see it there. We did really good. So here is a close-up, of what my layout looks like all done. I loved the sketch from Jen today. It was really fun to play with. Make sure you check out the playlist down below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Bye, everyone.